Hello and welcome to the next edition of H. Paul Models. This time I'm going to go Jet A10 Thunderbolt from Tamiya. Don't usually do 148 because I prefer 172, but this was relatively cheap on an auction site, so I'm going to give it a go. Let's crack on. Well, this thing is huge. It's yeah, it's about the same size as a B17 Lancaster or such in 172. So yeah. Look at my board frame. Yeah, it's quite impressive. So starting off with the build, I've got to cut the two fuselage halves out and then put some stuff that shouldn't be glued. So right, we'll have a go at that. Right, I'll have to use cutters, it's not good enough for scalpel's not good enough for that. Crikey! Oh, I've already rattle canned everything because I just find it easier to prime on the sprue than it is to prime it when it's built. I don't know why I do that, I just do. So yeah, let's get the two halves out. Crikey, this thing is massive. Right. Gordon Bennett. Anyway, I want to put some electronics in this, and it says, oh crikey, throw your cutters across the workshop. No, it doesn't. It says you've got to have 50 grams nose weight. Well, I think, oh crikey, come here. I think one of these may be enough. I'm not entirely sure, but what I've got in mind, that would definitely contribute. So one of those, and I want a recharging circuit which I'll find in a minute, and of course I think you know where I'm going with this. If I get these out of here, a little motor. Now to me the main thing about the A10 is its Gatling gun. So my plan is, if I can do it, and it's a big if, I want to make the Gatling gun spin. It's been on my mind for some while, so I would think with the weight of the electronics I'm going to put in, this might actually forego the weight of the weight described in instructions, 50 grams. So yeah, I'm going to try this as I go. So put the halves together, and then according to instructions you build the cockpit and put everything in there. So that will give me the opportunity, in instructions here, by the looks of things, to mount the gun somewhere in there. Yeah, so I'm gonna try that and see where it takes me. Right, first things first, cutting the slot for the charging circuit. So I've got my grinding tool from my tool set, and I'm going to give it a go. I think that's good enough. So we just put that in now to see how that sizes up. Yeah, I like that. That's good. Right, if I do anything else, I've got to do some soldering. So I'm going to tin the wires. I always find it makes a better joint if you tin the wires first. let's tin these. Cut that to size. If you can see it on the camera, that says battery negative. That means that goes to the battery. So let's put that in there and just bend that over. Oh, and then give that a little bit of a crimp on the board so it stays where it's put. Do the same with the positive wire. Bring it through and bend it over. Give it a little crimp like that. I'm going to trim that end because that looks untidy. That's it. Now, using these helping hands, I'm just going to tack them on. Remember I said tin the wires first. That just makes for a better joint. Oh. There we go, they're on. So now what I'm going to do is trim these, strip these ends and then solder them to the battery. So that's the charging circuit ready to go realistically. Now from experience I know that these charging circuits can't hold the current draw of the motor, but they can hold the current draw of an LED. So I'm putting the motor directly across the battery and the LED across the board because I think the current protection on the board will protect the LED from the inrush current of the motor. Only one way to find out, and that's to run it up and see what happens. So if I join these two, it will be a switch in the model, but if I join these two together, motor spinning and the LED still running. Excellent. Yep, that's superb. That's proof of concept, shall we say. So now I've got to get all this in that model. Right, using two Humbrol products, the model filler and the polished cement, I've managed to make myself a nice little gooey mess. Which I'm now going to use with a suitable stirring stick, if I can find one. There we go. I'm going to put that in there like that. Just drop it in like that. Oof. And then getting the USB board. Oh crikey. I'm going to push that into place, and then the filler, I'm hoping, will hold that in position where I want it to be, if the wires will let me. Let's get that lined up with the hole. Like that, and then I'm going to build round the edges so that holds that, and that will be, I think, a good weight. So I'm just going to really plug it in now. It is liquid plastic, so it shouldn't short anything out, and I have taped the ends of the wires to prevent any shorts. Well, there we go. Just chuck that in there, and then do t'other side. This is a proper messy job. Love it. Just to hold that in position like that, and I'm now going to let that go off, he says, and the wires keep pushing it back. There we go. I think a suitable clamp might help that. So I'll get one of these, put that on there and just clamp that in position like that, so it holds it in place. Lovely jubbly. And just use this filler, not to stick my clamp on the board, hopefully, but just to hold that printed circuit board in position and to act as the weight for the nose that the instructions ask for. Installing a switch into said model. So I've got this so I can keep the LEDs and the motors separate when they switched. So I'm thinking, jam that in there like that, put that like that against the model, and then put a hole in the bottom for the switch to sit out. So you just push the switch, gun fires, engine comes on. And obviously I can paint that the same colour as the aircraft and hide it amongst all the missiles and other stuff that's there. I hope. So using a battery drill I repaired a couple of videos ago. I'm going to get my scalpel, leave that to one side for the moment, and just do a centre dot in line with that hole there. I'm going to put that there, I think. That's about middle for diddle. Put it in there like that. That's a bit of a centre dot. And using this as a pilot drill, line it up very slowly. There we go. Now I just want a bigger drill, and I'll finish that bit off. So I've drilled my hole for the switch, just a bit there to tidy up. There we go, just a bit of scalpelage, and I've ground away the corner of that switch, so when I push it in, it fits in there perfectly upright and holds when I operate the switch, which is brilliant. But just to make sure everything stays where it's put, the old friend Humbrol filler, let's stick a little bit in there just to make sure it becomes part of the model. There we go, just a little bit, he says. Put that away before I use any more. And then make sure it's round the right way, put that in there like that and squidge it in, and that should, I hope, hold it in place once that's set. So I'll just get a cocktail stick. I'm just going to work that now around there, just so when the filler dries it becomes part of the filler and the model plastic and doesn't move when the switch is operated. As I said, I will paint that switch up as something and hide it amongst all the missile pylons and whatnot that we'll get to later in the build. Right, next trick, that is to fit the motor in the model for the minigun or Gatling gun. So I'm going to measure this piece here with my vernier, and that's given me 6mm ish, and the motor is 4. So if I get dead centre in there and then put a 4mm drill in there, that motor will sit in there really nice and snug. With a little bit of filler, that'll hold that really tight. Pretty much what I've done before in other aircraft engines, this obviously being a gun. Give me 3mm, come on. 3mm, 3mm, all the way, come on. 3mm, 3mm, there it is. That's 3mm, so I'm just going to use the caliper and see if I can't just mark that with that. Right, zero that out again and just measure it now. Using the verniers. 3mm is there, right there. So with the scalpel, and best intentions, I'm going to start the hole there. Double check that before I start drilling, just to make sure that's on. That to me looks about right. Yeah, that looks good to me. Use a bit of eye measuring up as well. That looks alright to me, so I'm going to drill my pilot hole. And I'll slowly open it up, so just have a look at that hole again. That looks about right to me. So after much grinding and fiddling and fettling, the motor's in. It's nice and square with the fuselage and that centre point which is there. I run the wires inside, super glue them into place. Hope it doesn't appear anything. If it does, it's just a bit of filing and fettling. All I'm going to do now is just a little tiny bit of filler around the rear end of that, just to hold the motor in place. I may work back a little bit over this top here. So yeah, the gun is ready to spin. You'll have to excuse the background noise. I've got builders next door. But anyway, it was building the engine time, so that's what I've done. I've stuck the LEDs that I'm going to use into the engines. So what I'm going to get is, if I can remember how to connect these, is front and rear LEDs on the engine. I don't know if that makes you see that on the camera. So yeah, it all lights up like that. So my plan is, if I use that clamp cleverly, if I do it like that, you'll be able to see the front of the engine. Just glows up like that, and then the rear as well. It's a bit bright in here, so it probably doesn't give it the effect I'm trying to give it, but yeah, I think that's going to be reasonably good in a darkened room. Yeah, so I'll carry on with the build now. Okay, engines are built and connected to the battery. So as a little test before I glue it all together, a little push. Hopefully you can see the lights come on. It's a bit bright in the shed today because of the sunlight, and it's lovely. Finally getting sun. So yeah, lights are on. Excellent. So now I'm going to fix that to the aircraft, or model, or whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to gently offer it up, and then using tweezers, what I did is I cut two little slots in the fuselage there and there for the wires to go into. So I'm just going to feed those in now. Oh crikey, like that, if they'll do what I'm asking them to do, which they're not. Get in there. Sometimes a bit of brute force and ignorance is the way forward. There we go. No, it's not quite. Oh cripes, that's got it. Right, that's on. That is on. Nice. Make sure the wires are okay. Oh, they need to come just in a little bit. There we go, that's in. That's it. And now I'm going to try and clamp that, which is going to be interesting. Let's do it. I'm using one of these. That's it, that's got it. And then using some, I'm going to try masking tape. I think that's the best way forward to get that stuck down. If I can, as good as I can, like that. Okay, then we'll go underneath and we'll join it there. Let the glue go off, take the clamp off and do the top sections. Right, doing the wings of this wee beastie. So I'll do my usual. Get the revel and fill up the little pots. And I think it joins there, so I'll do a little smear along there as well. And then offer this piece up. And I was right, it does touch, that's good. So get that together. Landing gear, nacelle, I suppose you can call it. Just a couple of dribbles of revel, and then I'll finish it off with Tamiya again. Offer that up. Let's see if I can't get that to line up like that, and then oh cripes, trying to avoid my usual trick. Oh crikey. In we go, that's in. Right. Oh, now I'm going to tape that with a bit of tape that's not screwed up. There we go. Let's get that on. Make sure that's in place. And then what I'll do is get all this. I think that's misaligned itself. There we go. That's got it. Yep. Hang on a minute. Oh, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Sister's appeared. Right, back to the model. Now I've got that in position and clamped. I'm just going to run a bit of Tamiya up the side here to make sure that sticks fast. Hello, Lucy. Yep, cat's turned up now as well. Isn't it amazing, when it was cold it didn't come out. As soon as the weather turns out, it gives me peace and quiet. Oh dear. Anyway, let all that go off now, and then I'll do the weapons racks after that. Weapons racks, so just a little bit of squidge of that in there. And then in the slot. Of course, a loud old plane going over. I live near Headcorn Aerodrome, so I get that a lot. Not so much during the winter, but definitely this time of year. Okay, so that's in place. Oh, make sure that's nice and square, and I'm going to hold it for a couple of minutes because it's not the best fit, to be honest. There we go, just hold that in its place. let the glue do its thing. After much fettling, I've got the cockpit in, so I'm going to run a little bead of Tamiya along either side of that to make sure that stays where it's put. This was not an easy fit, this cockpit. I had to work it out several times. Instructions just show, oh, push it up, it'll be fine. It is fine, but you just got to get it there. So yeah, it's in. You see it on the camera, it looks quite good. So yeah, that's fine. But that was difficult. And now that's in, you can fit the style of the show, and just test it before I do so. That's the gun running, excellent. The engine still works. Yep, the lights are still on, that's good. So let's see how this fits. I've got a horrible feeling this is not. Oh, that's on. Oh, I probably think it wasn't going to fit very well, but oh no, it doesn't. This is going to be one of those ones I'm going to have to do in stages. I've got the seam there, but when I come this side, there's a horrific great gap. That's going to need a bit of fettling as well, I think. Do a little bit masking tape, do a little bit masking tape, that technique, I think, because that doesn't look brilliant. So I prepare some tape. I'm not disappointed, but a bit, I don't know what the word is. Yeah, because all I see on modelling groups on Facebook is how wonderful Tamiya is, and yet this happens and you think, oh, hang on a minute, that's not what I was expecting. So yeah, I'll do that bit first because that seems to want to go in, so let's just do that corner there first. And what I'll do is I'll take that into position. That's it. And see if I can just get it to go over there like that and get that into position. Yeah, this is not an easy fit. I'm going to say it's nothing I've done, it's just not wanting to go in, which is disappointing. Because I was expecting more than that, I must admit. But still, it's a model, I'm building it. Happy days. Whilst the cockpit cures and the gun mount and everything else, I'm going to attach the wings. Now what I found is it's a bit wobbly, so it's time for the old Airfix glue, the Humbrol glue, to come out, because that's the best option for this sort of thing, I think. So get the polished cement, give that a squidge along now. I do like this really like using this for this application, because it tends to grip it almost instantly, and it's really good. So yeah, put that along there. I know it's not a modeller's favourite, but it has its good and bad points, and this is one of its good points. So very gently apply it. There we go, we're on. Get a cotton bud, remove the excess, like that. Definitely out of there, because I know something's got to go in there. Oh. Go to the top, move the excess from there as well. There we go, that's one wing on. Just fitting the second wing. Now everything's gone off. Using the old Humbrol poly cement again. You'll probably do that nicely. Offer it up nice and slow. Oh, there we go, it's in. Cripes, that's a big I keep saying it, but that's a big one. I need a cotton bud now just to remove the excess that's spurted out. Not too much, it's just I like it tidy. Let's just tidy that up. I think that a bit of sanding and scalpage won't sort out a few marks here and there. Let's turn that round the other way and just get this top bit cleaned. That's done. And make sure they're both the same. Otherwise that would be embarrassing. Oh dear, she's a beastie. Tail plane about to go on. A little squidge of the old Revel. So I had to do a bit of fettling with nail file just to get that to fit, which is disappointing again, but there you go. It's a model, that's the main thing. Let's get that on there, give it a good squeeze and get it square. Now the important thing is to get it level with the wing, otherwise it looks a bit cockeyed. We don't want that, do we? I reckon a little bit more that way. I think that's about level. Like putting the rudder sections on. Using my poly cement again. And offer it up really slowly. And then push it home. There we go. Now I've got to make sure that it's dead 90 degrees. Really don't want it looking wonky. Oh, there we go. I think that's about it. Again, I'll use the instruction sheet to just gauge that. I think that's about right. Off camera, I've done a bit of work on the cockpit. So I've got the head-up display in. I've done all the clocks and avionics and whatnot. So now all I've got to do is put the pilot and chair in. Yeah. Let's hope for the best, really. I hope he fits, because I haven't dry fitted this. There's been no rehearsal. So here goes nothing. Oh, it's moving. Come on, in you go. Come on, in you go. I'm hoping. It seems rather high up to me. Maybe I'm not hitting those four. Or maybe I am. Oh, there we go. I think that's clicked. I think that's in. Yeah, I think he's in. So I'll let him go off. And then, oh, stay up there. I'll let him go off and then, yeah, we'll see where we go from there. I'm probably going to dry fit the canopy next to make sure he fits. I'm a bit concerned he may be low down. Or too high up even, and that definitely seems to be the case. There's something not right here. It's got to locate in those four holes, surely. Let me have a little fiddle and I'll get back to you. Turns out I was being too tentative with him because everything fits now. I was just being a bit too cautious. One good push with a thumb and he all clicked into place. So that canopy is now in place. All I'm going to do is just touch the corners very gently with a little bit of Tamiya, because it wicks its way along the frame and seals the deal, if you will. Just like that. That's all it needs. And just make sure it's square. with the model, and then we can do the main canopy. Stressful. Okay, I'm going to add an aftermarket special. Dab of super glue on there, a little tiny bit more, and pick up my tweezers, these, and then drop them on there like that. Ejector seat handles. Just, oh, they're stuck now, they weren't centered, never mind. Just get them in, right, oh, come on, don't be a sod, I mean don't be annoying. There we go, ejector seat handles. Excellent, I've got that cure before I put the canopy on. I've got to mist the canopy up. Main canopy's on, setting, and I'm going to say I have never in my entire years of modelling had to clamp the canopy down. I have no clue. I had to do some filing and fettling around there. I've had to clear out some bits around the bottom of the canopy, and it wasn't sprue tabs, and yeah, it just didn't seem to want to close. So I want it to do the model either in flight or just taking off. So yeah, it's on, but it was a bit, I don't know, it's just, I see on all these chat groups and everything else, Tamiya this and Tamiya that, it's way better than Airfix. I've had to use filler, and I've had to file, and I've had to cut and just fettle about the same as I would do with an Airfix kit. So I know this sounds, I don't know, like I'm moaning, but I'm not. It's just I'm disappointed the fact that I've had to do stuff with this Tamiya kit that I didn't think I'd have to. But anyway, enough of my rant. Let's let that go off overnight. I'm not going to take it off, and then tomorrow we can look to painting. Cool. All the little bits are on, everything's ready to go, and I've chosen the colour dark sea grey because I like it. So, as the saying goes, here goes nothing. One empty paint pot. This and half a big beastie. All the painting's done, all the varnish. I put gloss varnish on. I painted the nose a black strip. Didn't like the decal transfer thing, so I'm just putting on the rest of the decals. This is rather a large job. There's quite a few of these decals, and I don't know if I'm going to get them all on there, but I'm definitely going to keep trying, because then once that's done I shall do the undercarriage and all the other bits and pieces after that. I've still got to build the missiles, but I'm going to do that off camera because, well, I don't think that'd be of any interest really. But yeah, I'll carry on putting these decals on, and then we can probably have a look at the finished product. I just need to I need to persevere with all these stickers. Crikey, there is a lot of them. There we go, my version of Tamiya's A10 Thunderbolt with working front Gatling gun and engine lights and whatnot. I must admit I'm not really into jets, so I probably didn't give this as much attention as I should have done. Yeah, I like prop planes, I just do. But anyway, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next episode. Cheers!